How's it going, everybody? Shane here, and I'm here to give you another Mashle, Magic and Muscles episode review. Today's episode of season 2 is episode 21, entitled WAHLBERG BAIGAN and the Magic of Darkness. Before I go any further, please hit that like button, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you can be notified of more videos just like this. Don't get steeped into darkness, but hey, you want to help support me even further? My Patreon link is in the description below. So, I remember distinctly saying last week, I hope this week's episode is mostly the fight with Wahlberg versus Innocent Zero. Only half of that is true, and the funny part is everything else they packed in here did not ruin this episode at all. I mean, it's like the way I wrote in my notes is technically it's 2 parts in one interlude, but it's, I guess the interlude part is just saying, you know, Mash's friends battle friends, because remember Madel Odal is there, battle those demon things trying to protect the students. Kaudo wants to go help Mash fight Cell War, but he can't. Madel will still being a douchebag. And I do get a confirmation Finn was not unstuck, because in the open, not even open, but in the beginning, when we see them, it's like, oh, I don't see Finn. They showed Abel and the other people. They showed Lemon, but then later on they showed Finn also still frozen. So let's go with part 1. So part 1 is talking about Adam Jobs, basically the Michael Jordan of the magical world. Just, I guess if you would compare him to any other person in anime, let's do Naruto, because I'll make some Naruto references in this. You could compare him to the first Hokage, you know, Harashima Shinju. This dude ruled over the magical world for several centuries. I figure magical people have a longer lifespan. He also is basically like, he systemized how they do magic, even made an educational system. He's the one that made the magical bureau. Now, I've thought when they said it before, I'm like, oh, he made the group. No, he made the whole thing, the systems, all of that stuff. And I actually said in my notes, okay, so you're the asshole. That's the reason why everybody wants to kill all normal people. Cull them out. If you got no magic, you deserve to die. No. In his later years, he did social assistance to those who were unable to do magic. Fully believed in the concept of noblesse oblige. Something that I first ever remember having experience with in Kamen Rider Kabuto with Kamen Rider Sword. If you know that reference, you deserve a cookie. Get yourself a cookie. So noblesse oblige for those who are uninitiated, because I'm pretty sure I've mentioned noblesse oblige in another anime. I want to say Digimon Reboot 2020. But noblesse oblige is basically strong exists for the weak. In other words, the strong have an obligation to help those who cannot do for themselves. And it's fairly interesting, this concept. By the way, he had 3 pupils. If you're looking at subs, right, because there's only subs for this, subs are gonna say master. They call him master, but to the trainee you hear sensei, which, you know, I guess your teacher would be your master, you know, especially when you think about it with martial arts, right? Your teacher, and let's say karate, your sensei is still technically also your master, right? So I get that, but I digress. There's 3 students that we do get to see. A nice little young Wahlberg with the wavy hair, and Innocent Zero with the face ish. We don't get to see the direct face on, but there's one more student who is a woman, appears to be a woman, I'll say. Where the hell are they? Did Innocent Zero kill them, or did they just like throw their hands up of all of this stuff? But Wahlberg, which his last name being Baigan, is interesting. Wahlberg didn't grasp the concept of noblesse oblige, actually. And I want to go into what he said, because, you know, the high standing have a duty to guide the weak, right? That can easily be twisted as in the strong should rule over the weak. We've seen other characters in other media, not just anime, and other media have those type of sentiments, right? But Wahlberg says to him that phrase is something that people who neglect, I said affect, but I'm guessing neglect proper abilities, they use that to protect themselves. I love the fact that Adam Jobs is silly. Like, he goes, oh, you make a good point. Wait a minute, you refuted your teacher. Oh, should you be the one in charge? And he just goes, I'm kidding. Now, in this flashback, which happens during battle with Adam Jobs, I'll get to that in a second. In this flashback, Adam says, don't worry. You'll understand what I'm saying later. And I believe in you because you're strong. Wahlberg is very strong. Now, I said I was going to make a Naruto reference, right? Well, you have, I guess you can say Adam Jobs is a cross between the first Hokage and the third Hokage, because he has his own Sannin, right? And one of the Sannin is fighting another one of the Sannin. We don't know where the third one is, the apparent woman one. Also, dude did the forbidden jutsu of bringing back the teacher. Now, Innocent Zero does admit he's able to bring back someone to their prime just from a lump of flesh, right? There's their master at his prime magical point. We see him in several different points. We see like the younger him, which is more or less kind of what this looks like, just slightly older, probably in his 30s. What counts as 30s for them. We see the older one where it's all gray and his hair's kind of long and gray. So I like that. I don't want to say they packed a lot, but it's a good job how they did it, right? But the forbidden technique that he did to bring his body back, he can bring back everything but the psyche. And so his lackey comes in to deal with it, or should I say to control his body. And this dude's name is Necros Mance. You all get it? He can use puppet strings, excuse me, on this dead body. His name is Necros Mance. Necromancer. This makes me feel way more confident. And I've said it before, I'll say it again, in my writing and naming of characters. Especially when I try to name characters after Japanese things. I try to find, all right, this name lines up with this. This is what this means. This is how I want the character to be represented. No, I could just do what Mashle's creator did and just say, oh, he's going to be like a necromancer. So his name is Mancer Neck, or he's a baby. Dude turns people into babies. So he's Sitter Baby. Not to be confused with Baby 5 from One Piece. Baby 5 is awesome. Baby 5 is awesome. Also, Mr. Pink is also awesome. Here's this. Baby 5 doesn't actually look like a baby. But Mr. Pink does. Do you see? You see where I'm... It's fine. It's fine. I will get on how this character is overly designed. I mentioned last week. Let's talk about Necros. The guy... Black character, shark teeth, slit nose. So think Voldemort, think Black Voldemort, shark teeth. So when he talks, he's speaking and enunciating correctly, but his mouth is barely opening, right? Dude has 2 chains, 2 crosses on top of each other, and skulls up here. Okay, now your name's Necromance. I get, okay, skulls. Okay, you got 2 cross, although it would make more sense to have 1 big and 1 small. Both of them being the same size is weird. But why the shark teeth? Why? And because in my mind, this is how I'm compartmentalizing this. He does a lot of inner monologuing in his head. He talks about how strong Adam Jobs is. And this is the, I think he might have said out loud that this is the best toy he's ever had, the greatest specs, because this is a dude from his prime. He was the top of the top. And he's telling us, Wahlberg, he is top of the present, but this is the guy from the past. You can't beat that guy. He has this, he has darkness magic, which returns everything to the void. Even when Wahlberg's cloak gets hit, it gets burned, and he's like, yeah, it even deflects other magic and returns it to the void. Sounds very familiar. If I had editing, I would cue the face of Blackbeard from One Piece right here. This would be Blackbeard. Zahahaha. Kind of, I love how different things do seem, different works and different works of art do kind of have some similar themes to it. This is not a knock on either show. I just kind of found that interesting. And so what moves does he does Darkness Impact. He does a bigger Darkness Impact, does Darkness Snake, double Darkness Snake, which makes 2 of them. And he thinks because Wahlberg is dodging it, he knows he can't beat it. But I'm like, dude, when you first did the Darkness attack to him, Wahlberg kind of smacked it off, right? He even does a big, massive attack, which turned the side of this mountain into nothing. Well, not into nothing, but just kind of made it zip away, right? And a lot of this seems like Innocent Zero kind of being like a baby, because he says, I tend to remember Sensei Master being fond of you. This is a special reunion. They're like, you're being petty. But dude doing the Darkness move even does this big one called it's called Darkness Tremendous, which is supposed to be too wide for Wahlberg to deal with, because, by the way, the effects on Wahlberg's wand cane with the light ball, I know that was done with 3D imaging. Really good looking. Dude's has been doing space magic. What did I say? Oh man, the dude who's the bad guy with the clock hands on his face does time magic. I wonder if his rival does space. Turns out the master does darkness magic, so I want to know what the other girl, what the girl does, right? I mean, we already got the Sinnoh trio here of time, space, and then void. Maybe she, they, whomever this person is, maybe she does void stuff too, but it's even voidier. I'm just saying that. But Wahlberg is cool as hell. Obviously, he is an old man in an anime. He's either going to be super weak, super comedic, or super strong. He is super strong and super slightly comedic. His ability, his cane, is just like slicing things, and he slices dude's arm up to his eyeball, part of his eye, just all this off. And he's like, "Oh, you cut me," and Wahlberg just starts laughing, going, "Hey, dude, look, I didn't actually cut you in half. I just moved your limb to another distant spot. You're not gonna die from this. At least I don't think it's gonna die, right? Who knows where you put that limb? Could have put the limb in a shark tank." And so Wahlberg's resolve is great, right? Because he says, again, Wahlberg and MASH, I wouldn't be surprised if you guys are related, because they say some of the coldest line. Wahlberg says, look, the past is the past, and what's important is the present. And even if someone as precious to me as my master gets in the way and cause chaos in the present, I'm going to take them down too. And then the guy, when it does the massive darkness attack, saying, yeah, your magic can't handle this. You can't remove the space of it that fast. And he laughs again and says, that wasn't me doing any spells. That was just all the wand. And when he does his little power up, does a cool position, that white that white aura coming off of him. And when he does the spell, Space Sacrifice, which makes 3-dimensional cube, beams the attack away. And then it's racing after dude and his puppet. Oh, there's another Naruto thing with Kankuro. Anyway, and dude's like screaming. He gets engulfed by it, which Innocent Zero is. He begrudgingly gives Wahlberg a compliment, saying, "Wow, your abilities have not declined at all, have they?" I mean, he did just take on the physical representation of the greatest mage of you all's time fairly easily, so he does not. And I guess next week those two are supposed to go at it finally. please do not kill Wahlberg after all this time. That was going to be so annoying. But give myself a pat on the back. I called the space-time magic thing. And it looks a lot cooler than I thought it would be. But he does remember his master's words, and he says, please, rest in peace once again. That hits differently after the announcement of the passing of Akira Toriyama, rest in power. So that one kind of hits a little bit differently when you think about it. And that's that part one. Now, part two here is Mash versus Cell War. It has been confirmed, at least through the announcer, that although Mash may forget a face, he won't forget any magic if it's done at least once to him. That is an interesting character quirk. I like that character quirk, by the way. It's like, I'll forget a person, but I won't forget a technique, which kind of goes hand in hand with him being like muscle man guy, muscle memory. I enjoy the fact that when Cell War tries to bring this up again, Mash completely changes the subject and says, why am I being targeted? To which he's being targeted because of forbidden magic of body construction. Cell War will explain that to us. Thank you for the exposition. Basically, it is dark magic to create an immortal heart from 6 blood relatives, which confirms that even though Cell War calls him father, it's not just, and he calls a bunch of people his children. And this is literal. Mash is literally related to him. Mash is his dad. If he's not his dad, he has to be his granddad. But they are blood related. Father, grandfather, and son. I guess magic beings last for a long time. Live for a long time. So could be his dad, right? And I love Mash doing the gong, the shock, a la Anya from Spy Family. But obviously Cell War is a fanatic telling him he needs to rejoice. You're gonna be part of somebody that's equivalent or close to God. Mash helps us dig more into who Cell War is. So you're one of my brothers? No, Cell War is apparently a clone created by giving some of Father's blood to a corpse. Okie dokie. But you need 6. Now it says 6 blood relatives. I'm gonna assume that, brothers, sisters, cousins, aunts, uncles are included. So we might see more of Mash's family. Possibly. Now, I said that Mash and Wahlberg compete for who is like saying the best lines here and who's doing the greatest thing. Now, Mash considers all this heavy. He's just like, this is heavy. This is a lot. I need to take a nap. He literally gets a futon, Japanese futon, and falls asleep. Someone was like, he fell asleep pretty fast. And when Mash woke up, he's like, damn, this is still reality. It would freak you out, wouldn't it? If the biggest evil in the world turns out to be your dad, and he technically wants to take out your heart so that he can make a heart for himself and live forever. And Mash interrupts Cell War with the punch as Cell War is going on being braggadocious and whatnot. And Mash goes, heavy or not, because Cell War was calling him worthless. Worthless or not, I'm unstoppable. So just bring it. And he says come on in English, which Mash using English is very funny to me. I guess it adds to him being weird being an oddity. We get another rare cane wand thing. This one done by what's this guy called? Cell War. Because Cell War's cane, he says summon Hephaestus. But I didn't have time to look up Hephaestus. It sounds very familiar with thorns and things of that nature. But I remember his whole motif is thorn, has a thorn crown. Does carbon. Carbon, when put under tons of pressure, becomes diamond. So his cane thing has 4 wheels connected through thorns, and they shoot these blades that are lined at the end with diamond. They can cut through anything. The way Mash gets out of this situation is astounding. Because not only does he have to dodge these things, which he does successfully. If you have not seen this episode, watch this episode for the interactions and fights alone. Because Mash dodging, and he barely dodges one, almost cuts him here, but it didn't even cut his shirt. So he did get nicked on the cheek, but that's an anime trope. Watch this. At least watch this ending fight. This is some of the most creative ways of a character getting around a enemy's strength. So Mash realizes he can't come close because he always has two rings in front of him, and while two are chasing him, they're going to chase him forever. So Mash runs around the school rapidly to lose them. By the by, the Cell War explains that Master King's not only unleash your magic, which he also has a third line. His third line comes out for him to do the King thing. So not only do they unleash your power, your power goes up by magnitude, and he does that same little carbon ball, but he's like, this one's diamond, it's black, maybe it's black diamond, and he says he's going to use it to destroy the school, kill his friends, kill all of his followers. And it's interesting distinction because earlier in the fight, when later in the fight, when the blades hit the top of the school, he goes, "No, my place of learning," which it's a very odd way of saying my school, Mash, but okay, I'll allow it. And so he loops around, touches the dude's shoulder like a ghoul, and says, "I outran them." Now the saws are coming back, and Guy figures, "Oh, Mash is gonna try to get them to hit me." I forgot, just like he says Mash might have forgotten, he can make diamond skin on himself, which I'm pretty sure he did in their very, very first fight when he was trying to kill Abel. So he does this. It looks like Mash is hurt, but then suddenly, due to stepping on a cream puff, then Mash gets up and goes, "Cream puff party, cream puff party," in monotone, stuffing the cream puff in his mouth, and the dude goes, "I can't breathe." No, he's supposed to be hit. And he passes out. Turns out he was having a hallucination because all within these seconds, Mash realizes, I love Mr. Narrator here, Nash realizes the blades are going to hit him. Dude's doing the diamond skin, so his plan won't work. So he puts him in a half Nelson and expands his biceps to choke this man out. He said, and he calls this, I think he called this bicep magic python choke. Dude may have had a diamond thing over his mouth, but I'm assuming that it also helped slow his breathing. So Mash is choking this guy out so fast, so rapidly. The dude thinks he won. He didn't win. He passes out, which not only turns off the spinning blades coming at Mash at the last second, it also destroys the diamond carbon spikes and saved his school. Until which Mash says he cares a lot about the school. So if you're claiming to destroy it, I'll choke you out as many times as I need to with my muscles. Sheesh. Wahlberg and Mash, they have some of the coldest lines in this show. Good job, guys. Really good episode too. Just all in all, right? I didn't foresee the fight with Cell War going this way. I didn't think about him having a second cane. Didn't think about him having triple word score, the triple line. Didn't imagine that he would have a attack that you can't really outrun and can't really out dodge. Dude is a fanatic, which is, I guess, not really irony given that he is dressed up with a thorny crown. And I see the imagery that's going on here, but I digress. Didn't imagine him being a mouthy villain. We wasn't too mouthy when we first saw him. So very satisfying for Mash to beat this guy, but it's also satisfying just the fact that he went, okay, I can't dodge these things anymore. I'm going to choke you out as fast as I can. And they even explain hypofixia with hallucinations, put the thing against his carotid artery. I assume that a person like Mash, who names all his muscles and his main ability is being super strong, super fast from working out, he's a better one punch man. I said what I said. I would assume he has knowledge over the body, which up to this point has proven true. Very, very, very inventive way, very fun way of this character using their knowledge, their ability. He is uber fast. Like, he is super, super fast. Before I forget, the next episode is called Wahlberg Baigan and the Greatest Danger. Who is the greatest danger? I would assume it's Innocent Zero. Please don't kill Wahlberg. I can't believe Innocent Zero brought one of his lackeys to come up and control the body as if they were have a chance to beat Wahlberg. But I guess he expected, since Wahlberg was old, that he would have been in decline. But no, Wahlberg said, come get these hands and I'll take anybody out. It also begs the question here. How did society get to the point of culling the non-magical? Is it partially Wahlberg's fault not understanding his teacher's teaching when before his body became decrepit, as said by Innocent Zero? Possibly. Maybe there were people who misunderstood, noblesse oblige, and did the reverse, like I said before. I do want a little bit of confirmation. I'm not, in my opinion, the show's not going to hinge on that, but you should show it, right? I won't be too disappointed if you didn't, because I already filled in the blank myself, but I need to see what happens there. Very good, very fun episode. Definitely 5 out of 5. It gives more backstory into why Wahlberg is doing what he's doing, because he's carrying on his master's teachings and his master's legacy by wanting to help those who cannot help themselves. Hopefully he doesn't get completely trounced next week by time, space and time. That's going to be fun to see. 5 out of 5 from me. Please let me know what you think in the comment section down below. Please be good, be blessed. Wash those hands, drink some water. Thank you for taking some time out to listen to me talk about Mashle, Magic, and Muscles. Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe, and hit that notification bell right there so you can be notified of more videos like this. Please take care of yourselves, all right? If you're feeling down and out, reach out to someone. There are people out there that care about you and would rather talk to you and be with you today than to miss you and mourn you tomorrow, all right? My social medias are in the description below. Feel free to give me a follow, send me a message. Be cool about it, and I'll be cool back, all right? Well, this has turned out to be... Mashle Saturday is just a treat. Cannot wait to talk to you guys next week. Let's muscle our way through the week.